Good afternoon. At Newton Stewart. I'm going to be creating a YouTube channel to tell you all about Newton Stewart in Dumfries and Galloway that people can come and visit. You can get a bus, you can get a what's called or a car transport you own to get here. You can't get trains to get here because it used to be a train station a long time ago. It been got axed many years ago. So I'm going to get out of this car in a minute and I'm going to show you all the clips of Newton Stewart. I hope you lot are come and enjoy. And just to let folk know, thanks for all the subscribers. I can't believe how many people I've got there at the moment. It's fantastic. I'm trying to achieve my channel, much as I can. I'm sitting there all the day there. What can I do? If you've got information, please comment down below with no ideas of sending me silly comments or stupid messages. They will be removed. This channel is trying to make create my life, show myself what I'm doing. It's a hobby that I'm doing this. I make these videos for you to sit there and enjoy and do different things. So I'll show you the bus stops that you can get off and on what part area you're coming from. So if you're coming from Dumfries, I'll show you the bus stop from Dumfries, what's called bus stop going back to Dumfries, and the bus stop you'll be getting off when you come back from Dumfries. Or you're coming from the ferry from Ireland. There is a bus stop you can get a bus from Stranraer to Newton Stewart, and it's number 500 bus service. And I'll show you all the what's called all the stops in here. But you wouldn't even know you can get to what's called Wickton from here. Wickton. You can just jump off the bus from Stranraer after you come off the ferry. If you fancy go to Wickton. Wickton's a boot town. Boot town, yeah. It's been a famous boot town for many years. I don't know how long the century, but I have to look in the internet with that one. I'll maybe get it down below in the comments if you want me to do that. So if you think come and visit Newton Stewart, there's plenty of places to eat. I'll be showing that because I've got a family restaurant in Newton Stewart. I don't know if it's still running. I've not been in Newton Stewart for quite a while because I've been in my cell and deep down in my cell. I have put myself down a little bit, thinking, because I've got issues myself, and I always put myself down a little bit, but I'm trying to build that conference, build it up, so I can do it. People told me it there, I can do it. I just need to push it myself and do it. So welcome to Newton Stewart, folks, and getting out of the car, and I'll just go start the video. That's my introduction for the day. What can do, what we can see. That's all about the Newton Stewart today. If the weather's not great, but I forgot to bring a jacket. This is going to be fun. I wish I bloody bought my coat. So there you go, folks. That's me just being an idiot, as I always. Just getting out of the car, folks. Right, folks, this is one of the start I have spotted when I come off the gate, out the car. This is what's called a gatehouse museum. What's called not museum. This is a charity shop that you can come and visit. We'll talk about the bus stops later on, but I was going to tell you later on. Well, there's all your, that's bus stop 1, bus stop 2, and another few bus stops from there. And these couple of things you can go and visit in Newton Stewart if you can read them. You've got the high school, you've got the Boiling Green, you've got the museum, community service centre, swimming pool and tennis court. Lots of things you could do in there in the summer, basically, not winter. That building there is what's called Town Council offices in Newton Stewart, if you're ever going to visit. That used to be the library. I don't know where the library is now. Many years ago, Dumfries and Newton Stewart had what's called a college to save people travelling from Stranraer College or Dumfries College, but that's not included anymore. They had to travel from Newton Stewart to Dumfries or Stranraer College. Well, this is what's called a takeaway. Starfish. I've not been in Newton Stewart for a while, like I said to you before, and obviously I know what's called in the car. That one is what's called a charity shop run by what's called from Rescue Centre. I think there's one in Dumfries, but they've got a one in Newton Stewart as well. If you're that stuck, people, for what a taxi service, there is a number up there you can ring, but what's called the switchboard is in Stranraer. It's called McLean's Taxis. You can phone them up and then they'll take you a taxi from here anywhere you want in Dumfries and Galloway. But it's a lot of money involved with it around here. So taxi services is really expensive. This is what's called this used to be what's called a solicitor officer, but I don't know what's happened here since it's like the doors be caving in and God knows what happened. I hope everyone's going to have a smashing weekend. This is another weekend. It's been grew back again, come back. Well, I noticed Newton Stewart has quite a lot of bungalows. And it's in town. Really nice bungalows with the stones and background. There's what's called a house there with different stone kit. The kind of similar stones in Dalbeattie. But I have to see it, show you what my family cafe, if it's still open, because I am getting close to it. There you go, computer shop in Newton Stewart. There you go, folks. That's a hairdressers. It's quite shocked seeing it being closed, but there is a number there. I think it looks like you could what's called call them up and ask them to what's called, if you want to do hairdressers, they might to book you in like that. Maybe, I don't know. Hey, here you go, folks. That cafe, it belongs to my family from my granny's side. Because my granny used to originally come in Newton Stewart. My granny had that love, and sadly she passed away in Kukubre. But she had a lot of family in what's called in Newton Stewart. Her mum is buried in what's called in Newton Stewart, and her granny as well. So that could be my great granny. So that's alright. So that's a family cafe in there. There's a flower shop in Newton Stewart if you wanted to, if you've got a friend, a family, or what's called, eventually for somebody that you love, like if I was going deep in love with my partner, that's the way I would love to go in there with her and buy a bunch of flowers with her, because she is a woman that I really love. Well, that's another car park you can go and park. There's quite a lot of car park spaces in Newton Stewart that, you know, like if you didn't want to travel from buses, but you can bring a car. Like I said, Dumfries, what's called Newton Stewart, is in the west of what's called west of Dumfries and Galloway. That used to be a Bank of Scotland, Halifax. Now it's not anything else. That used to be quite a lot of banks in Newton Stewart. They had one bank there, now that was a Halifax, and then they used to have one that was called the Royal Bank of Scotland, but that was gone away. I don't know why it is a question at the moment why people are getting rid of banks in the area. This is public gardens. Go and visit in there. Well, there's some houses for rent if you want to stay in the area. Just to let you know, some areas are quite cheap down south. Come in here if you want to live here. Please, there's always things to do. If you didn't want to be living here, it's entirely up to you. Or you can go on a hot holiday. If you fancy a beer in Newton Stewart, there's a Central Bar. Opens at maybe midday, and I think it shuts about maybe at 10 o'clock. But when it comes at night weekend, it's open longer. That I think of. I think. There you go, you can have a wee drink in Newton Stewart. Just walking this side and then walking back up. And I'll show you what different areas. Well, that's the door to get into the Central Bar. We are welcoming people in Dumfries and Galloway. This another you buy houses from. Another hairdresser's called Blackburn Hairdressers. There's one in Newton Stewart, I know this, and there's one in Castle Douglas. Fantastic. It's a shoe shop you can look at. I think it's like being like things like fishing and stuff like that, and then there. Maybe outdoor stuff. Another salad. This used to be what's called, I think this hot and snacks. If you're going for what's called a bite to eat, I think it shuts about, this the times there, it opens at 7 o'clock in the morning and at 2 o'clock 8 p.m. And there's your orders in there if you want to have a wee scout about what you can have. There's another house in what's called places that you can buy houses. There's a lot of them in Dumfries and Galloway, I always notice. Another what's called a charity shop. Another shop there, bags and Firebay. If Emily was here, I think she'd love that shop. That one used to be the old Royal Bank of Scotland. There's your clock tower, 10 to 3 with that clock sale there. There's your what's called a chemist that you can come and visit, what's called visit if you want anything from there. Please yourself. Oh, there's a wood cafe in, that's another cafe. That's a brand new one, I've never been in that one. Maybe we visit there with my partner and my Emily's daughter can come and have a visit. This Lord's Bank, let's call Lord's Shop name. That used to be Galloway Arms, used to be what's called a good pub many years ago, and meals. Not that close. Nothing. That's a shame. Another flower shop. Well, this side of Yorkshire, it's not many places to eat. There's a couple of few cafes that you notice there. We've got cafe. There's 2 cafes and they're not on this side of the street. But we can look on the right hand side where I can back up. Oh, another cafe. No, that is not a cafe. That was an antique shop. Sorry, folks. Another semi-chem that you can get, or what's called another chemist that you can go and get. This used to be a great chippy. It used to be windy out there, and it's still, I think it turned back to chippy, and it's good for what's called chips and February, and places that you can go and have something to eat. There's a cafe on the right hand side that's sell food. Great thing to what's going on, go and grab something to eat. Enjoy your meal in there. Well, this side has been done, so I think I'll get there's another shop up here. I just got to see what it is about. Remember I told you about bungalow houses. One there, there's a couple few down there. So quite a lot of bungalows in Newton Stewart. I can't believe my granny used to live in here all how many days when she was born. My granny's got well, that's all it's called, funeral direct, but sorry about that, folks. So turning across the road now. Start there on the left side now. So what we can see, what we can do. This is the bridge. You come along up this. This is another way to get to Newton Stewart. This will take you to Dumfries. Right. So this is the Dumfries section, right? And over there, it's another village. It's called Minigarth. So if you it's a history about this bridge. One side of this bridge is called Wigton, and the other side is called the Stewartry. Well, that's what the history used to be all about, but I don't know if that's still the case. That's the way I think it should be, because the other side is Newton Stewart and this is Wigton area. When you come over this bridge, you can go into what's called Stranraer that way, or Wigton. And there's another road, and that road there, turning right up there, takes you what's called to Girvan. Girvan's a lovely place, best place ever to go in. It's a harbour. Look up on the internet with it. There's a great fish and chip shop. The batter is really good there. You can get on Newton Stewart. That's a 500 just arriving what's called from Newton Stewart, coming into Newton Stewart. That bus came from Dumfries. The 500 Houstons. So that'll be going to Stranraer. I think it'll be in Stranraer just after 4 o'clock. It goes in Stranraer. So that's the bus come from Dumfries going to Stranraer, but I think there's another bus due going to Dumfries. Great service, Houstons. They're based at Lockerbie. They're based from Lockerbie. The 500 used to be what's called served by what's called Stagecoach. Stagecoach no longer being here, so then what's called the Houstons took the run. Most of the runs from Dumfries and Galloway. Welcome to this fantastic arena. Oh, there's a wee story there of what's called. I need to come to. I don't know what it says. Something to do with Dumfries and Galloway. There you go. What an excellent place to come for your what's called something to eat for lunch, because you've got what's called a takeaway there. You can sit there and have your meal. Nice place to sit. Come on, and what the area with nice flowers in the summer next to the river. How much do you want? Eh? That's me coming out of here. I was thinking an antique shop was a cooking bloody cafe. Bloody hell. This used to be what's called a bank many years ago, folks. It's not any bank anymore. I think it's turned into, don't think it. That used to be bank. I thought that was a fucking real animal. I had to come and double check that. Fucking jumped at the skin there. That cafe does bring back memories. It is a cafe still there. My granny, many years ago, loved that cafe. My granny still go in there. Barber shop for guys to go in and cut their hair. A shop up for sale, but it's not open that much longer. Another shop in Newton Stewart been closing. It's up for sale. Don't know where that is, but I think it's I know somebody who loves this shop. I need to bring her. Another takeaway, Pizza Royale. You can get all your kebabs and burgers or something like that. Hardware shop. Key store. There's a lot of them in Dumfries and Galloway. Butchers. There you go. That's what it's turning into. Bank cops. To get your money. They'll be all linking into one, I think. What's called a Chinese restaurant. It's called Rainbow. Pets shop, and then you got what's called a Newton Stewart's got a cinema. I'm sure what's available. What people want to come and watch. There you go. And there's all the what's called information, what's coming up, and then the Thunderbirds. I can't remember the back of the days. Get down these stairs if I can manage it, but it's because I have always got a rod in my hip. Sometimes I'll have difficult coming down the steps. The cinema itself, it's closed. Corporate Health. Another shop been closed. Simpsons Bakers, There's one in here and there's one in Stranraer. One in the Stranraer, back in the day, I lived in Stranraer many years ago, and the history was Simpson Bakers. I was a school day out, I went to one in Stranraer, and a mate's something from in what's called the Bakers, I can't remember what it was. A mate something, and a bloody mate, it was called ate it. It was fucking it was lovely and fantastic. Paint shop. Another takeaway. I think it's another. Oh, you can sit in that one. No menu outside, just a menu when you get indoors. This is a post office Newton Stewart. And that's where you can post up letters. A post box. Another directions that you can go to the swimming pool, bowling green and museum that way. If you're coming from Dumfries side, you come that way. Enjoy this, climbing this hill, Robert. How you doing? Coming down this way. Oh, it was me doing that side over and done with. Just to let you know, folks, there's going to be another part 2 video doing this, because I'm making around about 40 mark video at the moment, just to what's called, just spread up the video. If you want to watch the part 2 will be on the I'll be after I've done download this one, because I've done 33 minutes by talking about different things. That's a coffee shop that's down there. That used to be what is called Dumfries and Galloway, old Dumfries and Galloway College. Dumfries and Galloway College, so get rid of it. People could travel from Dumfries. It's like Stranraer have not got midwives centre so they can give birth. How ridiculous be people from Stranraer. The government needs to wake up and build a place for people having babies in Stranraer. It's quite dangerous to travel from Stranraer to Dumfries and having a baby. It's not on. This railway area is going slightly down a little bit, and it's unfair a little bit. They wouldn't like to travel miles and miles and miles for appointment when everyone is struggling with what's called living costs. I think it's a disgrace to Stranraer people, when having a baby, to travel away to what's called to Dumfries and back. That's nearly a whole day trip. It's the public toilets. there's Sainsbury's to do your local shopping if you're in Newton Stewart. It's got what's called all the stuff. It's got the cash machines and things like that. I'm just trying to cross the road so I can show what times it opens and things like that, so you can have a look yourselves. Got another 5 minutes to do this video. There you go. It's got a cash machine, fruit and veg and bakers and all sorts of stuff in there as well. Like you can get all your groceries. That's a grocery shop, Sainsbury's. There's one in what it's called. This is only one in Dumfries and Galloway, but there's talk about one in Dumfries. It's going to be coming up soon. We'll talk about building one in Dumfries. Sainsbury's. And Aldi's. That's an Aldi's in Newton Stewart, folks. Just nearly finished this part 1 video because I'm going back up to the top where all the buses stops that I started from. Well, hopefully you like the Newton Stewart towns, Newton Stewart shopping centre area. I know. Gonna be coming back on in a minute, like I said, for the part 2 video. There's a couple of few more what's called restaurants and what I show you. It's another side part of Newton Stewart. I'll explain them in a minute on the part 2 video. Getting bloody knack of it, bloody walking up this bloody hill. I think that's my what's called exercise for the day, where what's called all the stepping, can't climb up the hill. It's like I said, all these bungalows, fantastic. Newton Stewart. I think Newton Stewart love bungalows instead of what's called higher flats or a house. Now the second video I'm going to have, I will mention that the bus stops and get to places and things like that, okay? There you go. Like I said, look, bungalow. Everywhere you go in Newton Stewart, a bungalow. So that's me finishing all that to bungalow. But before I go, on that other side it's another pub called the Star, where that guy is going into. So it's 2 pubs. It's open in Newton Stewart if you want to have a wee drink. The Central and the Star. So I'm going to have a wee breather at the moment, to have a wee breather for this part 2 video. So enjoy the second video, please. Thank you very much. Thank you.